What's going on, guys? Welcome back to CNC Outdoors. It is October 2nd today. Wisconsin's archery season is in full swing, and that's what I'm going to be doing today. A little bit of public land bow hunting. Got out here fairly early. I think it's like 12:45, 1 o'clock right now. Just gonna kind of stop at a couple spots and do some speed scouting. Main objective tonight would be hopefully to harvest a doe. So the spots that I'm going to be checking are going to be hopefully within somewhat reasonable dragging distance. But yeah, just stopped at the first spot here. And I'm going to go see if I can find some sign. This is one area that I turkey hunted this spring. And there's a little water hole back here, like a half a mile, roughly. And a lot of the stuff around us has been drying up lately, so hopefully this little water hole has some water in it, and there's some deer going to it. I also jumped some deer back here during turkey season, so I have an idea kind of where they could possibly be bedding. So if I find anything interesting, I will keep you guys updated. All right, so I'm walking back from the first spot now. Seems like there was some human traffic, not recently, but probably over a week ago. So it definitely was pressured a little bit, probably opening week. I found some tracks, not a lot. Most of them weren't very fresh, but I did find one area where I had some oak trees dropping, and I had a couple trails coming into that with some fresher tracks, but again, not a lot of tracks. But that is a possible area that I could hunt tonight. It's a little bit further than I'd like to drag a doe, probably a good half mile. But like I said, it's a possible spot. Just walking out right now, and I'm gonna go check out another area. Oh yeah, and my pond, my water hole, like I said before, was all dried up, so that's no bueno. On to the next. Area number 2 of the speed scouting mission. This is a spot or an area that I rifle hunted last year. Shot a doe, I don't know, probably a mile to my south away from here. It's just this big old clear cut that's probably, I don't know, 8 years old now or something like that. But there's some oaks in this area that I'm gonna go check out, and if there's some sign, this would be a really short drag. So we'll see what happens. Not seeing a whole lot of human sign yet, so that's good. Spot number 2 was not what I was hoping for. Did not see a lot of sign. The acorns were not very impressive. I found a couple trails, but it didn't seem like they were being used too much. So on to spot number 3. All right, spot number 3. I did some turkey hunting back here the past couple of years, and there's a ton of oaks. It's basically just a giant oak flat. So I've got a couple pins where I've seen deer back here. Let's see if I can find the magical oak tree. Otherwise, I think it might be back to the first spot. We'll see. Third and final spot was probably the worst. I found oak trees dropping acorns, but zero deer sign. It's all squirrel sign. So, speaking of squirrels, so I am gonna go back to my first spot and go get set up over there. That's by far the most sign I've seen. freshest, but it is a hike. So, yep, I'll see you in the tree. Alrighty, walking in. Go find a tree and hope we get lucky tonight. I measured it out roughly to the truck. It's like a little over 1,000 yards, so it's not terrible, but it's not exactly the easiest walking where I'm going either. Let's see what happens. Okay guys, I am up in the tree, all set up. It's about 4 o'clock. I believe shooting light tonight is 6:50. Pretty cool spot. I got a nice big opening in front of me. I'm in like a cluster of oak trees. I'm actually in an oak tree right now. Got some out in front of me. So I got an old logging road that comes through here, and there's trails that cut across it. There's one right here, there's a couple up there, and they all kind of intersect right in this opening. And I have a really thick patch out there. It's all pretty thick right there, but there's a line right here. It seems like they're skirting that thick patch. So, not a ton of sign, but enough. We're gonna sit tight, see what happens. Alrighty guys, just got back to the truck. It was a pretty nice night. I did something that I said I wasn't gonna do. I told myself at the beginning of the year, any racked buck I'm gonna shoot. So basically anything bigger than a 4-pointer. But I was so on the fence about shooting that buck until he was about 20 yards or 15 yards broadside. But I probably could have forced a shot, but my stupid camera arm was kind of in the way of my bottom limb, and when I went to move it, he saw me but couldn't quite pick me out. And then he was downwind of me where he was standing right there, and eventually he smelled me. But I was gonna shoot him, I think. If I didn't have that camera arm there, I probably would have shot him. But I wasn't too upset to see him run off either. So still a ton of season left. It's only October 2nd. I got vacation in November for the rut. I couldn't pull the trigger quite yet. But it's a good night out in the woods. Got to see a deer, so that was sweet. But see what the rest of the season has to hold. That was a fun night though. Back in the woods, doing a little bit of bow hunting. It's about 12:30 right now, October 7th. Gonna be scouting a new area here that I've never been in here actually before. I've drove past it always looked good. But I'm gonna dive into it today, see what I can find. Got a pretty stiff west wind today, so I'm gonna stay on the east side of where I think they're possibly bedding. There's a couple thick pockets in here. It's a big chunk of woods, like well over 1,000 acres. And there's fields, crop fields kind of sprinkled in on the borders. So I'm gonna go see if I can find some sign. If I find something, probably gonna come back to the truck, get set up, and go hop in a tree. But check back with you if I find anything interesting. All right, that's gonna do it for my scouting today. I hit 2 areas, probably put on like 5 or 6 miles, and didn't really find a whole lot of stuff that impressed me. Found trails and some tracks, but nothing really that piqued my interest. But I learned a lot, and definitely I think I found some pretty cool areas for the rut, but it's not a lot of sign for me to sit there today. So what I'm gonna do is, it's about 2:30 now. I'm gonna jet back to the area I hunted about a week ago. That's where I've seen the most and freshest sign so far, and I saw a buck there last time I hunted, so it's a pretty cool spot over there. It's basically right between 2 thick areas, and there's a cluster of oaks in the area that I was sitting. So it's kind of an area where you never really know what you're gonna see. It just depends if and what deer are bedded in those thick spots, and if they come out to play. So that's my game plan. I'm gonna head back there and go get up in a tree. Alrighty guys, got the camo on. It's like 58 degrees, so it's really not too warm. So I just put my light camo on. Got the bow ready to rock. Just kind of wanted to show you my setup before I head in here. I don't think I've shown that yet, but I went with the XOP this year. It's their Booner setup. So it comes with sticks, the stand, harness, and the backpack to carry it. Pretty sweet. Just hook my backpack onto the back. It sits right on the seat. They got these little straps on their website too, so that keeps my backpack down. Sticks and the backpack. so far it's been working out pretty good. I've always used a climber, so it's a little bit of an adjustment for me. But, and it's actually, it's heavier than I would have liked. I went with their bigger platform because I would rather be more comfortable, especially in the cold. I kind of wish I would have went with the smaller one. It probably would have saved me like 2 pounds, but with that backpack carrier, it's manageable. But I would say, like, with all my gear, camera gear and all that crap, stand, probably sitting at like 30-35 pounds, but it's not that bad. It's definitely quieter than my climber, and it's less bulky, and I can get into like any tree I want. So it's been pretty nice so far. But it's about 2:45 now, maybe pushing 3 o'clock. I'm gonna head down the trail. I got like a half-mile hike, maybe a little bit more. Might check out a different little area before I get to my area, and then I'm gonna be up in a tree. Alrighty guys, it is October 11th today. Back out on the public land in the same area that I've been going to the last 2 times. Just decided to come back here again because I've been seeing deer. I've been getting opportunities. Well, I've seen 2 bucks, past 2 bucks now. I think I'm narrowing down where they're coming from and where they're going. So figured why not come back, try and capitalize on something out here. Looking for either a racked buck or a big doe tonight. Driving here, truck said 80 degrees, but by the time shooting ends tonight at like, I think it was 6:30 or 6:32, it's supposed to be down to 60 already. Tomorrow, we got a big cold front coming in. I think it's a high of like 53 or something tomorrow, and Sunday supposed to be about the same, 50 degrees, so quite the temperature swing. But it's gonna be a little bit warm walking to the stand, but it could be a good night either way. I got time, so I gotta go. Gotta be in the woods when you got time to hunt. And we need venison bad. Just looked in the freezer yesterday and we have 8 pounds of ground left. So need to get something down here quick. So I'm gonna get to walking. All right, so what I've got going on here is got an old logging trail, snowmobile trail. There's an open area right here, and another open area right here. On each side of these open areas, it comes to a point, and it's all thick bedding. The 2 nights that I've sat here, I've had bucks come right through here in this gap, and they've hit licking branches in this area. So my wind's gonna be going like this tonight. I'm gonna get up in that tree right there, and I'll have a shot at hopefully deer coming through this little passage. That's the game plan. All set up in the tree. Got thick cover over here to my left. Should be bedding. And then it opens up right here. And I got a lane going from thick cover, crossing this logging road into another open area. Those bucks last time have been milling around in here, making scrapes and stuff, hitting a licking branch. And then there's another section of really thick stuff back here. So just working that edge. Hopefully we can get a bigger buck or a doe to do that tonight. Oh, jeez. frickin' spined him. Holy crap. Alright, where's the best lighting? Right there, maybe? Alrighty, guys. That right there is my first ever public land buck. He's no giant, but I told myself this year, anything that got me excited, I wasn't going to shoot a spike or a fork for sure, or a fawn or anything like that, but anything that got me excited buck-wise, anything with a rack, I was going to shoot. And that deer got me excited, man, and the wife and I are hurting for venison in the freezer. I just looked yesterday, we have 8 pounds of ground left, and we went through like 80 pounds of just ground venison alone this last year, so we needed meat, and that was freaking awesome. I mean, if you don't like that, I don't know, there's something wrong with you. But public land, northern Wisconsin, buck down. I'm going to tear my tree stand down, and I got help on the way to drag them out. We're probably about a half mile, maybe a little more than a half mile back. So, yeah, we're going to go take care of him and celebrate. Alright, well, here he is. Got 2 of my buddies here to help drag him out. About a half mile back. Not too bad because I spined him, unfortunately. Not the greatest shot on my part, but put him down, and he's right next to the logging road. Take that right to the truck. Should be easy dragging. But this is my first ever public land buck. Pretty jacked. So I'm sitting in an open spot, basically. It's like a little funnel between 2 thickets. This is the 3rd time I sat here, and each time I saw a buck, this was the biggest one I've seen. And he came out just like all the other bucks, right in this little open patch, made a scrape, hit his licking branch, and he came in. He's probably 18, 20 yards. And that's all she wrote. Pretty jacked. But we're gonna get him gut out and haul him back to the truck. Thanks for watching, guys. Later.
Is that a deer? Oh yeah. Don't touch that. That's Aki. You can touch this. What you think about that? Is that a deer? Yep. Big bucks.